some devotees were wanting to go from Juhu to Bombay by taxi. And I am kind of a miserly man. I said, why should you go by taxi, So I told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, your devotees want to go from Juhu to Bombay by taxi, it's very expensive. So Prabhupada said, I was objecting, and it was kind of, some devotees were getting a little agitated. So I told Prabhupada that, you were getting agitated because I'm objecting to this thing. So Prabhupada said, you just think like this. They were just like tigers, blood. It's like tigers drink blood, they were eating flesh and blood. Now they are chanting Hare Krishna, they are enjoying spiritual, they are dancing. Is not that a very great achievement? So if they want some money, just give them. If they are taking some extra money, if there is some fault, don't worry about it. Then next day in the class he said this money is very, very hard to come. He said every rupee should be considered as a brick in the temple. Money is like Krishna's blood, and we should not waste money. So instruction. So to me he said you tolerate. To them he says don't. There's money. In other words, you can say the same thing, but you can say it in such a nice way that a person does not feel discouraged. This was the key principle in Prabhupada's dealing with every devotee. And that's why he was able to produce so many managers. In spite of all of us making so many mistakes, the movement grew because Prabhupada's kindness and affectionate nature.
Hari Sari Prabhu was Srila Prabhupada's servant at the time. He was very kind to me. He would always give me little things to do for Srila Prabhupada. So he said at the Toronto, I just washed Prabhupada's clothes. I'm going on the roof to hang them so they dry. They used to hang the clothes up. He said if Prabhupada rings his bell, he has some political guests in there, please go in and see what he wants. Okay, Jai. He says he probably won't ring the bell. We just served him prasadam, so I'll be down in a few minutes. Okay. So as soon as Hari Sari leaves, of course, same thing, right? Ding, 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 ding. Bell rings. I go running in. Yes, Srila Prabhupada. He said, more porridge for the guests. Yes, Srila Prabhupada. I run out. Boom, run back to the kitchen. More porridge. Srila Prabhupada needs more porridge for the guests. Oh, we don't have any more. We're out of flour. We can't make any more. I'm like, what? What? I can't go back in and tell Prabhupada there's no porridge. Well, Prabhu, we don't have any more porridge. And I'm such a fool. It's like, instead of making them or doing something, I just went back in the room. And up to this point, my relationship with Prabhupada was always just like a loving, there was never any chastisement. And when I said that, Srila Prabhupada, there's no more puris, oh, he just was furious. He said, what do you mean there are no more puris? There must always be prasada. He's like yelling at me. And I didn't realize till later on, actually Hari Sari told me just a few years ago in Mayapur, that that letter had just gone out. Prabhupada was just really upset about Kumbh Mela. So I got the backlash of that, whack. But it was mercy, I kind of felt bad, but it was mercy. So
another instance I remember is when the Nectar of Instruction came out, the book in which it is said that there is the last verses, they say that Vaikuntha janito varamadupuri tatrapi raso savad. Greater than Vaikuntha is Mathura Mandal, and greater than that is Vrindavan, where Rasa dance takes place. And greater than Vrindavan is Govardhan, and Govardhan Radhakund is the best place. Where is a person who is in knowledge who will not serve the holy place called Radhakund? This is the verse from Nectar of Instruction. So the Prabhupada's secretaries were complaining that now devotees have read this book and they want to come to Vrindavan. They want to give up their service in book distribution and they want to come to Vrindavan and stay in Radhakund. because the nectar of instruction says like this. So Prabhupada says, just see the rascal. He has not even first followed the first verse of Upadeshamrut, and he is jumping on the 12th verse of Upadeshamrut. The first verse is Vacho Vegam, Manasaha, Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udarupastha Vegam. One who controls the pushes of the senses, he is fit to be guru and make disciples everywhere. Sarvam apimam pathvim sashishyat. So he said, let him first follow this first verse of Upadeshamrut. Let him control his senses first. Then he can think of Radha. Just like monkey, he is living in the forest, on the tree, eating only fruits and leaves, but always thinking about where is the she-monkey. So he is jumping from branch to branch. So it's called Markata Vairagya, renunciation of a monkey. So this kind of desire, give my service and go to Vrindavan, is simply a monkey business. And tell them that first let them control their senses. Let them first perfect the first verse of the Upadeshamrut, then think of the 12th verse of the Upadeshamrut. That was very instructive thing.
I remember this one particular gentleman. He seemed like a very pious man to me, elderly Indian gentleman, looked very pious. But Prabhupada always seemed to be able to see the heart of the person. And so this man was saying to Prabhupada, Swamiji, give us your mercy, give us your mercy. It seemed like a very ardent way to me. And Prabhupada was just very offhanded with him. And he said, I have already given everything. Still you do not take. What is the use? And I was so shocked that the way Prabhupada, sometimes he would seem to give so much mercy to someone who seems so undeserving. And this man seemed very pious to me. And then Prabhupada gave him the example. He said, just like a man, he has fallen in a well. Someone throws him a rope, but he does not take. It was very harsh, but still like a bittersweet compassion he gave this man.